When is the right time to raise the lights? One of our VIP members asked me this great question. So, in this video, we're going to get into it. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. We got our $2.99 membership, and we have a VIP if you need a little more one-on-one. Link down in the description.
All right, so let's go ahead and continue. So obviously there are manufacturer recommendations, right? They're going to have all these car readings and light gizmos and all that other like light equipment and stuff that they recommend you to purchase. Me personally, I don't like to go by any of that stuff at all, just because there's so many things that changes how a plant's going to respond in the moment. Okay. And what do I mean by all that? Well, let's say the leaves aren't as thick as they normally are, and for whatever reason, maybe you're running CO2, maybe you're not running CO2, maybe your watering practices have been inconsistent this run, maybe you've had a bug problem, who knows what's going on. But let's say one grow, you have a great grow and your leaves are really thick while the other ones are thin, or let's say you have a mixed crop with different varieties and you have different things happening. Well, if you go by like a manufacturer's recommendation and you stick next to that and you stick to learning that's how to use your equipment, well, you're never going to become in tune to the plant and in learning the language of the plant and how it talks to you and learning that, just learning the whole language. And so the very most simplest one to just be aware of and look at is they call it the tacoing, right? Are the leaves pushing up, upward? And if that's the case, what happens for you when someone gets in your space? What do you want to do, or where the environment's too much? What do you do?
I mean, yeah, you want to try and stretch out. So, you don't want, somebody's in your space, of course, you're going to feel cramped up. So you're going to feel a little bit confined, but you're going to want to try to, make some room for yourself.
You hit it on the dot. And what would you do to make room for yourself?
Okay, you probably stumped me here. I would definitely try to, stretch my arms out. I would,
You would stretch your arms out. That was exactly what I was looking for. Exactly. You would stretch your arms out. The arms for the plant are the outside edges of those leaves.
Gotcha.
Okay. And what is it doing? It's pushing away the energy, right?
Mhm.
And, the plant can't control the light, but it's talking to you and saying, hey, this is what's going on. If you learn to just be very in tune to that, as the plant's growing, you'll know when to raise the light, because you have a couple things you could do with the light. Especially if you have the LED or HID, you can dim down the light, you can raise the light, and each thing is going to do something different for you, right? So if you raise the light, what's going to happen to the light?
It's going to get brighter.
Well, if you raise it vertically, like from distance from the canopy of the light, or distance from the canopy, what will happen to that light?
The light's going to spread, right?
It's going to spread, exactly. Okay, so if you keep it right over the plant and just dim down the light, what's going to happen?
Well, less light exposure to the branches, I would imagine.
Exactly. So if you raise the light and keep the intensity of light going, you're going to spread that light out. If you have a large canopy room, that might be worth it, right? Because you're spreading the light out, the light's going to spread. It's still going to hit the flowers. It's going to be collected through photosynthesis. That's a good way to solve it. But if you have a smaller room and you just drop the light or just don't raise it, but you reduce the intensity of it, you're going to be more efficient in your return on investment.
Gotcha.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, I do. It makes perfect sense, actually.
And that's how I try to approach the rooms. If I remember straight, when we first got together, we started with hydroponics, right?
No, I wasn't the hydroponics guy. I remember you were asking me that in one of the messages.
I never started with rock. Okay.
Never started with Rockwool.
Okay.
When I started with you, I was already in the mix, but I had just ran into a bunch of problems. Like my leaves were turning all types of yellow. I think I overwatered with my first grow and just like drowned out the root system, which was a total bummer. But it was definitely something I maybe want to get back up on, and try again. So,
okay. All right. So no big deal. Okay. I scrolled all the way up and I was like, I didn't see any hydroponics. So I was like, yeah, anyways.
it was just problem after problem after problem with my first grow. This grow has been running so smooth. I haven't had any type of pole or mold or pest issues. It's been beautiful. And I think you had me switch over to dry amendments opposed to the Fox Farms line that I started using originally. And things have just been so much easier. It's like you sit back, you mix your soil, and it's just like you're just watering in and you're mixing your EM1 and everything kind of just, it works for itself, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. That's the way it's supposed to do it. What happens is when you use fertilizer bottles, you end up firing all your chemists and your biologists, and you are the sole chemist and biologist. I'm going to ask you a question. Are you a chemist? A PhD
Not at
chemist?
all.
A
Nope.
PhD biologist? I'm not. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I don't want that type. I don't want that job. You know, so it's like, why are you firing them then, right? Like, if you don't want to do the work. So that's why we put the bacteria back in, the proper bacteria, the godfather and the godmother bacteria is back in, and let them go and hire and fire people for you.
Right.
We were talking about also about the light. So we're talking about so you understood that part, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it normal that if you took a clone and put it side by side with a plant that was from seed, I think from seed you're going to get a lot more production out of it than you would the clone. And is that a thing?